Friends, it is me, Stacey, and welcome back to another episode of Indulge Me.
You.
I take that back. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Indulge Me. That's right, friends. We are back, and we have a heavenly attitude this episode. If you survived the heat wave ep, God bless you. God bless you and your ability to take on a woman in peril. But this week, we are back. We have purchased air conditioning. It is going swimmingly, and I've decided to wear a knit in the office. Now, do I immediately regret the knit? Of course. Of course, I immediately regret the knit. It's a t-shirt. Like you know, if you've been listening since episode 1 of this season, I'm struggling fashion-wise, trying to figure it out. And I'm in a fashion fatigue when it comes to purchasing clothes now. This is my issue. I'm filling up a lot of carts. Old Navy, Zara, Mango, The Lot. And I'm filling up the cart and I'm leaving the cart. I'm not coming back for it. I'm not presenting the cart with my credit card. I'm leaving it there. I don't know why. I'm fighting it. I have nothing at home to wear. I'm wearing jean shorts. They're not great. So, but this is the chaos game that I play. You know, so here I am in sort of a knit. And again, this is what's so funny to me is I play this game where I put on an outfit. I think I'm being a bit fun. And then when I get out in the world, I go, what have we done? What have we decided? And I believe I thought I was kind of preppy chic. Okay. And now I'm looking at myself in the camera and it's giving very much Miss Trunchbull. Miss Trunchbull on a Sunday. You know, God bless her. Yeah, I feel like I'm going to force a young boy to eat a lot of chocolate cake in this sort of rugby knit that I've decided to wear on this July day. But that is the energy and that is what's happening and that is why we're here. Okay, and cheers to you. I did get an iced coffee. The ice is already gone. How are you surviving the heat? So much has happened this week. I think the hardest thing for me is I updated my calendar on my fridge. Yeah. Okay. You don't have to have kids just to have a calendar on your fridge. That's a little lesson that I've learned as I approach 39. I have a very fun calendar with dry erase markers and I update it because there's a wait list at the ADHD clinic. So we have to put systems in place. We have to. So I do have a calendar on my fridge, and the hardest thing that happened was I had to write August at the end of it. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be like this, guys. I don't want to be like this. But I just had a moment right before Canada Day where I thought, is summer over? Is summer done? Because it seems like it's going in the blink of an eye. And I feel like I'm just hitting my summer groove. You know, like I'm just hitting the groove and I have to write August on the calendar. That doesn't feel right. That doesn't seem right. It's not right. So that was a really tough pill. I think also because I rarely get to be in Toronto and I'm loving my time here so far. And to know that, that will come to an end sooner than I'd like. Damn. But 'tis life. But I feel like winter is too long. They're making us sit in winter too long. And I don't even mean just temperature wise. I mean vibe wise. The winter, I don't even need to say this. This isn't information that we don't know, but like winter is the darkest of days. I'm bloated almost 24/7 in the winter. The programming isn't as good. I'm knee deep in Love Island. I'm swimming around. I'm with my girls. Okay. I'm a mommy, right? In the winter, I can feel its ugly breath upon me and I am scared. What can I say? So this week I did something really fun with my dearest and nearest girlfriend since high school. We went to Incubus. And let me tell you, we had a blast. We had a blast. Now, did the guys we go with say it wasn't that great? Yeah, they did. Did I listen to them? No, I didn't. Well, to their face, I said, oh, yeah. Because, sometimes we can't engage. We just have to let the men, and the women can be left with their good memories, But Budweiser stage with your best friend, high school band, oh, the draft beer in my veins. I went mental. I mean, I was having the best time. It was truly such a blast. Brandon Boyd is still really hot. Now I say this, okay, let me just preface this because I'm already having coffee and I'm already all over the place. But I do this thing where like I can appreciate like a celebrity and go like they're attractive, like that's a hot guy. But if I know that I don't have a shot in hell with them, I can't sexually take it on. Like I'm not like ooey, like I know Pedro Pascal is a really sexy, lovely, delicious man. But I'm not for him. And I know that. And so thus I just appreciate from afar. I don't feel drawn in that way. I don't know what that means for me. I don't know if that's a survival mechanism, but if I don't think that I could get with you, then I just go, oh yeah, that's, a nice piece of work. But all to say, Brandon Boyd was still thin, still great, and as predicted, still took his top off pretty quickly into the concert, which was delicious. I did go to the bathroom and got a text from my girlfriend and said, his shirt is off. We need you to get back. And that to me is a good friend. That to me is a good friend. She knows what we're there for. She knows what we want to see. But I will say this, and maybe this is a grandma thing. And if you're Gen Z listening to this, I hope you're okay. But please inform me. The one thing that was kind of weird about the concert was like he never addressed the crowd really. Like he wasn't like, hey, Toronto, which maybe that's a lame thing and musicians are moving away from that. But a hi, hello ain't going to kill you. It's really not going to kill you. And the concert itself, it was just, they were doing one of their albums, Morning View. So just kind of front to back the album. So not that they're open, to criticism or feedback, but just in case they are watching Indulge Me, a couple of stories would have been nice. Stories about you touring or maybe storytelling or how you wrote the songs or maybe just a hello, Toronto, nice to be here, happy summer. Something would have been pretty fun. But who am I? Okay, I was a Backstreet Boy girl. I was Incubus for the Friends, but I was a pop girl through and through. Through and through. Another fun thing I did this week was I had my nephew in town. That was a blast. And it's interesting, right? Because I said this on the pod before, and I'll say it again, but I'm in the trenches of the kids or no kids conversation. And I know that that's a tricky little beast of a tale, of a quandary. But, I've always said I love kids. I love hanging out with them. If they're at parties or functions, I'm like, what are we doing? Like, let's get on the floor. Let's create a game. Like, I just think kids are the coolest. And so I always kind of thought I would have kids. But then I sort of found independence, I would say later in life. I was divorced. I had to like kind of rebuild my life in many ways. And that new independence, I was like, oh, wow, like I can travel. I can go do whatever I want. I can sleep till 11. I can spend my money on frivolous robes and treats and trinkets. And that is a really fun life, So not having kids is also so appealing. And now I'm stuck between like old assumptions and like new feelings. And that's really tricky. And then I'm doing the sad thing where I'm like going on TikTok and like women are having the debate. Like, I had kids. Would I tell you to have them? Or women who are child free or so I'm in the trenches of the decision. And if you're listening to this and dealing with that as well, I'm there with you, gal. So that's where I'm at. And I was very happy to have my nephew this weekend and really like test it out. Now he's about to be 13 and we had a true blasty blast. Now I did immediately become a mom, because he's 13. So he's decided that like maybe he like forgets how to put a dish away or, get out of the house on time or remember his water bottle. And it was interesting to be with him and see how quickly I took on that role and how quickly I ended the day. And I was like, no appreciation. No, thank you. So for all the moms out there, I see you, I hear you, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you because man, oh man, did I want to throw my boyfriend into the ocean because he gets up and has a shower, but I'm up, I'm making breakfast. Okay. Nephew wants a smoothie. So do I. Let's go. We only have enough smoothie stuff for like one. So he gets the smoothie, he gets the bagel. I'm filling up the water bottles. I'm grabbing all the pickleball stuff. And, boyfriend gets out of the shower, fresh, ready to go, goes, hey, let's get going. He makes himself a coffee. I'm sitting there in my pajamas, sweating through. No smoothie, no breakfast had, no coffee even made because this teen boy requested a smoothie. And I'm glad that he's making a healthy choice. So I need the smoothie to taste good so that he keeps this healthy journey going. But does that mean I get any of it? No. I'm in my pajamas. He goes, oh, you're not ready? Oh, I'm not ready. What are we talking about here? We're not ready. I had to get the boy ready. Okay. The boy now has his full water bottle. I filled up your water bottle. I filled up my water bottle. I've never filled up a water bottle so many times in my life. So then I went into the shower and just let the water hit me in the back of the neck. And I thought, would this be my life? Would this be my life day in and day out? Because, God bless men. They try. They're amazing. This isn't like, a He-Man woman hater or woman. You know what I mean? The woman version. But I know that they're great. However, women see the way women see. I mean, I was the amount of times I had to tell my nephew and my boyfriend where something so clearly was, I thought maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this isn't for me. I can't spend my life going, oh no, it's over there. It's in the fridge. The top. It's at the top. Okay. I take a breath. I need you. Breathe with me. The peanut butter's on the top shelf. Like that was my whole weekend. Damn. Could I do it? I don't know. So I am in thought. I am in process. So if there's any moms that want to give me any tips, tricks, any child-free women out there, send them my way. Because isn't it quite the pickle? Isn't it quite the freaking pickle? And, I find this interesting, and I've said this to girlfriends before. I feel like so many of my friends who have had kids or people I know who have had kids, the conversations that they have is after the kid. Like, I feel like so rarely do women sit around and discuss before they have kids. I feel like we all romanticize what it would be like and how cute it would be in your little stroller. But I feel like we need to sit down and really discuss what the trenches would be like. Yes, a little girl in little bows and a headband is so cute, but how did we get her there? How many times did she shit up her back? Okay, you're running out the door. You're late for the function. I'm screaming, get the headband, we need the photos. Like that's the truth. And I feel like we have to have more discussions about that. So I'm trying actively to have more conversations with my friends before we have kids. And I mean the girlfriends who don't have kids yet. That is simply and truly what needs to happen. Because we all have the friend who has the kid who doesn't want to say the truth, and I want the nitty gritty. I don't want, there's never been a love like this before. I know that, Sharon. I've heard about the love I've never felt before. Yes. What I want to know about is the sleep deprivation. Okay. When do you have a shower? How do you fit in Love Island? How crazy do the nipples get? All that kind of stuff. So join me in the trenches because that's where we are. You know what I mean? That's simply and truly where we are. Another thing I'm sort of battling with this week that I wanted to bring to the pod was the struggle of starting something new and sticking with it, because I am so terrible at that. Like, I have zero patience. I am not a patient person, literally at all. Never met her, don't know her, must be nice. Not for me. And so I have kind of been trying to push through, and it's really presented itself in two ways. First off, I went golfing with my nephew, and it was the first time that I sucked full ass, full double cheek, plumped up. I ate complete and utter shit, garbage shit. Okay. I was so bad. It was embarrassing. Like, there was a couple times, and my boyfriend disagrees with me, but I know. Okay. A couple guys looked at me and had a bit of a chuckle, and whatever. And let them. Mel Robbins, are you good? We don't know, but I will let them. But I caught myself in this moment of, like, I was at the driving range and I just couldn't get it together. And I was like, who cares? I'm not doing this anymore. I'm over it. And it's like, no, I can't do that. Like, the urge to quit when it becomes embarrassing, I've done it too many times. I've done it too many goddamn times. And so I'm trying to push myself to not. So then I force myself to go to, like, the chipping green where, like, you know, you practice getting onto the green, and I ate full ass shit garbage ass there as well. And don't even get me started on the putting green. Just as bad. And then I started, like, really making fun of myself in my head. I was so unfair. I was making fun of, like, the fact that it was the first day I wore, like, golf gear. I go, look at me in the golf gear, and I can't do anything. And I know it seems silly, but it's really kind of stuck with me how quickly I was like, no, I'm over this. Goodbye. And I'm really trying to, like, break that. But how do you break that? It's so hard. I've never been good at learning something. And it really was kind of interesting to have my nephew, because he was getting frustrated with his own things. And I was being a liar and a hypocrite to him, like, literally lying to his face, being like, the hobby is the journey. Like, I was saying shit like that. Liar. Me. Just fully lying to this kid. I was like, just keep going. Like, the joy that you'll have is the journey you got to success, or whatever. I feel like I fell into a chicken soup for the teenage soul or something. But I was trying to teach him that, you know, a skill that I refuse to let land, which is really the joy and the stories and the experience and the things you look back on are the times you were learning the thing, you know, because when you get really good at something, you're never really, like, reveling and rolling in the, like, yeah, murdered it, killed it, couldn't have done better. If you're doing that all the time, like, no one's doing that unless, you know, you're a psychopath. And I feel like anyone listening to this is thinking about one person in their life that is like that. And we don't like them. So I'm trying to teach myself to just, like, push through. Don't be a baby. Like, just be bad at something. It's okay to be bad at something. And even with this podcast, it's like, it's so easy to just not, even though I love doing this, you know, I love it. I've really missed it. And I've been really, really wanting to get back in and be consistent. And there's so many parts of this that I really, really enjoy, but it is so embarrassing, I think vulnerable, you know, to restart something when you're slowly building up your community again, when you're finding new people in something. It starts small. And I always tell people, you got to start small. You got to build your crew. You got to find your community. You got to find like-minded people. You have to, like, get your messaging out there, or whatever that seems like. But then I don't take my own advice, and I get so embarrassed. And then I just go, oh, forget it. And then I'm, like, on the couch at home just wishing I was doing something, you know. But then when I'm doing the something and I'm not good at it, then I feel like trash, garbage, ass, and garbage. And then I'm like, well, I should just go home and just forget it. My brain's doing too much. Why do our brains do too freaking much. And I can tell that like, I'm this is how like I know the crash out. I'm not that I'm close to crashing out. It's only episode 3, guys, but it's something, you think about. But I can tell because I'm on YouTube listening to tarot readers again. I'm listening to the tarot readers. I'm finding them and they're finding me. And I forget that YouTube is an algorithm and TikTok is an algorithm. And yes, I know this special message isn't just finding me, But I guess I'm just like, the hardest thing about trying something new is the hard work that goes behind it, and I keep looking for like the tarot readings and the 9 of Cups and the blah, blah, blah to like, ease my mind that I will bypass the hardships and the learning and the skills learned. And yeah, I don't know if any of that makes sense, but that's what I always laugh at when I want to like, I'm always looking, okay, let me get my thoughts together. I'm always looking for the shortcut because the shortcut helps me avoid emotional feeling vulnerable, frustration, disappointment. The shortcut, you avoid all that in many ways. And that's better. I think that's why, like, as a society, we're so drawn to like, back in the day, all the magazines, Khloe Kardashian's quick fat loss tips or like weight loss tips or blah, blah, blah. And we're like, oh yeah, what's the quick fix to get better, to feel better? And it's like, it's never that. There is no quick fix. If you want to get in shape, you have to eat right and work out. If you want to fix yourself emotionally, you have to do the work. You have to go to therapy. You have to be honest. You have to unpack a lot of stuff. You have to discover your patterning. Like, it takes time. And that is just the worst news on the planet. Don't we think? And I keep thinking like, when people win like an Oscar, this is how I remind myself. This is how I get my feet back on the ground, is when people like win an Oscar or something and they're like, this has been 12 years in the making. I'm like, what? 12 years? I'm like, could I stick around for 12 years on one thing? Is that the road to success? Is focus? Probably. I'd love it. Can you imagine? Just a little food for thought for you. Just where I'm at. Wanting success, wanting change, wanting to, evolve as a person, and really being disappointed that it's not all done in one day. Oh, to get old. All right, are people watching Love Island? This is what I want to know, because this is my second summer fully doing Love Island, and I have fallen behind, obviously, but I'm slowly catching up. I'm struggling to connect to the cast, and I'm wondering if anyone else is feeling that, because I feel like I tuned in to Love Island USA last summer, and it was like a very special summer where the cast was incredible. We had Ariana hosting right off the Sandoval of it all. And that cast was dreamy and wonderful. This cast simply and utterly struggling. Like, there's people, there's standouts that I enjoy, but like the guys, the women gorgeous. As always with Love Island, the women are 10 out of 10 and the men are, excuse me. So, and I'm now about to get to Casa Amor, and I don't have high hopes. The Casa Amor men are always poo-poo kachoo. Like, they're never that. They're never that. The men always get the hottest women, and the women get like they get duds. They get duds and doo-doos. I don't want them. They're always straight. They look literally like AI men, where you're like, something's not right. Something's not right. And then, of course, they never choose them. The women are always loyal in Casa Amor. Now, again, I'll stop you right there. I am not a Love Island historian. Okay, so I want to respect the people that are. I'm not coming for you. I can be wrong. But in the ones that I've watched, which was the UK last season, US, and now US now, and I cannot wait to start the UK because that's kind of where my heart is. I love Love Island UK. I want to do a deep dive on that because Love Island UK, when I started watching that, I started getting into so many British podcasters, and they are just next level. They are elite, gorgeous people. Okay. So I'm going to do a full like recommendation of like my favorite like British pop podcasters. They're wonderful. But the Love Island, so this is my experience with Casa Amor, is that the women go to Casa Amor and there's like maybe one or two who have just been like absolutely bamboozled by the regular guys in the villa. And so they're looking for new love. But the guys are literal trolls from under a bridge. So they're not interested. There's no way they're not going to choose them unless, they just want to get back into the villa and be coupled up. Okay. But it's strategy. It's not love. Very often not. Now I know there's exceptions to the rule and I'm learning those rules. So back off. Actually, don't back off. Like come in and let me know. Cause like I want to know the juice as well. But so all the women are loyal. They like last season, they were all sleeping outside in their bunks. They weren't sleeping with the guys. And then the guys were just being full on dogs, dirty little dogs, cheating, scheming, lying, smooching. They're going to the hideaway. They're smooching up a storm. And then they just apologize and everyone forgives and moves on. So it's troubling. And again, I need to catch up on Casa Amor. I am avoiding certain texts from friends who are like, where are you? What's going on? What are your thoughts? And I don't want to break their heart and say that I'm behind. That's why I put off Love Island for a long time. It is a commitment. But if you miss one day, you miss two. You miss three, you miss four, you miss five. Now you're a week behind. Now, I have stamina, so I can catch up. But the regular folk, that might be tough. But I will finish Love Island. I will finish Love Island. But I also wonder Vanderpump-wise how everyone's feeling about Ariana. Because she is the hostess with the mostest. I think this season she's a bit more relaxed behind the camera, or in front of the camera, I should say. Excuse me. Coffee burps are next level, but I feel like Ariana is way more comfortable in front of the camera now. She looks gorgeous and stunning. The thing I want to know is how does like everyone from Vanderpump feel about Ariana? Because she got like the biggest boost, which she should have. I mean, she took like the biggest loss with the Sandoval of it all. But I wonder how like Katie feels, because Katie was like right alongside her and but maybe Katie doesn't want to like be a host or be on Broadway. Like, I don't really know. I still believe that something about her, the sandwich shop, there's something conspiracy based around it. Like, I can't ever imagine it is a real establishment that people go to. Like, a regular person is like, I can't wait to get my ciabatta mozzarella sandwich from Something About Her. You know me. I don't believe that. Right? Like, I feel like Tom Tom is a real establishment, but it's almost like a tourism spot. If you're a fan, you go to Tom Tom. But I feel like everyone just kind of also does something about her, but no one's thrilled. I couldn't believe I was watching Watch What Happens Live, and Charlize Theron said she went to Jax's bar. Can you imagine? Charlize Theron on a patio at Rocco's called Jax's. There she is. Also, how are we feeling about Jax from the Valley? I'm really bouncing around on my television here, but all we have is Love Island and the Valley. What else do we have? We have nothing else. The Valley, I'm struggling with openly. Like, I'm like 2 episodes behind. And the reason is, and this is where I find trouble in reality TV. If the storylines outside of the show have advanced so much, I'm less interested in the show. Like, I don't want to see Kristen's engagement to Luke on the boat. I don't care. They're already engaged. They've been engaged for so long. She's already pregnant. She's about to have the baby. She has had the baby. So her like fertility journey and will they, won't they get engaged story is so boring. It's literally so boring. And I guess they had to do the reunion early because Kristen was about to have the baby. So there's so much that's happened and there's so much that's been said, and the reunion's already been shot. So I feel like it's already kind of dated, and I really hope cameras have already picked up and that they're shooting currently. And we can get it out soon because I feel like this group moves really fast. And I think that was the death of the Kardashians. The death of the Kardashians was that they started curating their own storyline, but we already were like a year ahead. So like all this stuff would happen with the Kardashians. And then all of a sudden the season would come out and we were like, oh, but Kourtney's already had a baby and like she's already married to Travis. She's just meeting Travis now. Like who literally cares? And all of the storyline is fake, you know? Oh, this is what we have to discuss as well. The Bezos wedding. Gasp. Gasp. $50 million? For what? For what? I mean, some of that money has to be towards Lauren's new face. Miss Sanchez, her face, new, pulled, tight, plucked. The waist, so small. Boobs, so big. That can't be comfortable if you don't have the structure. As a woman with huge cannons, and I don't even have the biggest cannons. You know, I've had friends who have had full-on reductions. It's like, you don't want that weight on your back. And with that little waist, she doesn't have the infrastructure to hold the cannons. I worry woman to woman. You need the infrastructure. If you don't have that, what are we doing? That little waist in that, I guess it was a Dolce & Gabbana dress. I'm not quite sure. Schiaparelli? These are names I'm hearing. Who am I to know? I'm wearing a Joe Fresh knitted vest in July. Everyone's saying it was a bit tacky. This is what I love about the internet. Like, I love that there's like a 22-year-old girl in like a studio apartment, bed on the floor, going shot for shot through a $50 million wedding, telling them they're tacky. That's where I love the internet. That's where people show up. The audacity, beautiful, gorgeous. I love it. It's not even audacity. It is the truth. There was this girl. She was so young and so funny. And she was like, carpet, really? At the wedding? Crazy. And the people there, Kris, of course, the Jenners, the Kardashians. Timothy Chalamet was not there with Kylie. Was there a fight there? I love them together, Kylie. Timotei and Kylie. There's something about them I do enjoy. Like, Kylie is a mystery to me, but I, for some reason, feel like Kylie Jenner would be fun at a dinner. She'd be funny. She'd be spicy. She'd listen. You know, I feel like she would inquire about my life. Maybe not, but I feel like at a dinner, maybe. There's got to be something because Timothy Chalamet, he's a little freak. He's a little nasty little freak that I can get behind. And surely a nasty little freak needs a conversationalist. Surely. Sydney Sweeney was there. How? What's that connection? Does anyone know? I haven't had time to really go to Reddit. You know, when my nephew was there, I was like, oh, I don't have time to go on my Reddit and figure out about the Sanchez Bezos wedding. What did we think about the dress? I thought it looked warm. It looked warm. And as someone who got married in a sleeve, highly recommend. Love a sleeve. But I had a low back. I had no back. Hello. I did CrossFit for a month, build out the back. And guess what? I saw results. I think some of that was Photoshop, but nevertheless, I did a sleeve low back. No bra. Brave. That dress was up to the neck and down to the ground. Covered. Not for me. I want to know how much it cost. I'm sure it's out there. But again, I haven't had time to do my research. Bezos is such a little freak. Such a tiny little freak. And, you know, it is true that they say like money can't buy you taste. So, you know for sure they played the YMCA at the wedding. YMCA, they got up and did that. Like, that's what I find really funny when you meet people who are really rich, like hot, rich. Like the way that they have fun is like kind of lame. Like, you're like, really? Because I used to work at I used to work at like a high-end restaurant. I was just a hostess, never the mostest, never wanted to do anything. And just like the way I saw rich people have fun, it was like so lame and boring. And like none of the women talked to the men, and the men just went like ho, 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 to each other, like literally no joke. Not even allegedly. Like it is true. And then the girls are on their phones taking photos, and no one's really talking, and no one's saying anything funny, except when they go to take a picture, and the girls are like like that, and the guys are like, oh, but no one's saying anything funny. There's no bits happening. No one's talking about Love Island. That's for damn sure. So I'm wondering how the rich got down at this party, because it kind of was like a freak brigade. Like we had like the Kardashians and then Orlando Bloom. Like that's how I imagine my friends would call me if they like stumbled upon the Bezos wedding. They'd be like, oh my God, I'm at Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding and Orlando Bloom is here. Random. Like, I guess that they're friends. And he just got divorced from Katy Perry, and Katy Perry did not go to the wedding. And Lauren Sanchez made sure that everyone knew that she was really missing the fact that Katy didn't go to the wedding. Tough. Leonardo DiCaprio going was kind of a shock with his hat down. There's something about Leo that I'm drawn to, but there's also something about Leo I'm like icked out about. And it's probably the fact that he only dates like young women until what, they turn 25. And then out the yacht they go. Gross. He's probably a skis. And then he's like this environmentalist taking a private jet to the Bezos wedding. Not a good look. Not a good look, Leo. Leonardo, what are you doing? You know that Kate Winslet was watching that going, this fucking guy. Again, she had to get on the phone. Tell him, what the hell are you doing? Oh, you know who was a shock at that wedding for me? Jessica Alba. Like how? I know she's like a secret billionaire. Or maybe an obvious billionaire, but it's just so crazy. Let's see the guest list for the Bezos wedding. Tom Brady. Okay. Bill Gates, of course. Oprah Winfrey. I loved Oprah and Gail at the wedding. I love that Oprah doesn't give a shit. She's like, I've worked hard enough. There was something about Oprah getting on one of those boats in Venice where she was just like, hey, queens, I don't give a shit. Come for me. I'm going to this billionaire's wedding. I'm getting the gift bag. Obviously, all the Jenners, Kardashians, Ivanka Trump living for this. Guests were treated to Michelin star pasta and famous pizza. The photo of the pizza looks like ass. No offense. Ellie Goulding performed her most romantic songs at the reception. What? It says the music was off the charts. It's already been noted that Usher sang Yeah, tough. Oh God. DJ Cassidy spun hits spanning all genres. Think classic danceable wedding songs. Brick House, anybody? This is what I'm saying. So the YMCA was played. It feels like the Hunger Games. Like that's how that wedding felt. It felt like the absolute Hunger Games. And I love that Charlize Theron called them out. I think she called them losers. Get it? I love that. I love how messy that is. She's calling them losers while she's at Jax's getting Mima's beer cheese. I live for that. Okay, I also want to talk about something. I brought this up on TikTok, but I said I would talk about it more on the pod. And that is, what is going on with Kris Jenner? Like, her face, obviously, great facelift. She was open about it. I love that. But now she just has bangs. She has this little bang haircut. Her new hair looks like a hair simulator, like something you would like upload your photo online and you would put on different types of hairstyles to see what looks good. Like there's something about the hair that is like uncanny valley. Like there's just something about it. It doesn't feel like her own hair. And again, I just want to preface before everyone comes at me, which they did on TikTok and I kind of live for it because it was so funny. I know what my hair looks like. I'm extension free. I've been open about that. But I can't wait to slap those babies back in. Like I get where I'm coming from here. Like I need it. I need my hair to be dyed. I understand that. But I'm just curious because like she did the facelift. She said that she got her face worked on and we loved that, the transparency. She looks incredible. But then we all kind of bypassed this like banged little haircut that she's rocking now. She's gone away with her classic Kris Jenner look and is now doing this like very interesting little bob. This little Bobby De Niro that she's got going on. It's interesting. I want to know if it's a wig. Maybe it is. I just need someone who's maybe a bit more educated on the matter to help me out, because I really need to know. Well, I guess we can't finish our plastic surgery talk without bringing up the one and only Miss Emma Stone, the Emma of the Stone, the heart that is mine, that I love. Who is she? I love Emma Stone. I love everything about her. She's so funny. She's so talented. And she so does possibly allegedly have a new face. Now, if you've listened to this pod or have watched me anywhere, you know I am not opposed to a suck nor pluck. You know, I will be venturing my options as well. A little thing, a little doing, a little all the things. Go for it, right? Whatever you want to do. But people are saying she got a facelift at 34. That feels crazy. That feels crazy, if that's true. But a lot of the TikTok, like plastic surgeons, commentators, people are kind of dissecting her minimal work throughout the years, which is gorgeous work. I mean, she didn't need it, but oh my God, subtle little changes. And now people are saying a full facelift. Now in the photos you see, when you see still photos, you go, maybe not. Maybe it's just makeup. Maybe they've just like really contoured her. But then when she's moving around and you see the interviews with the face, you go, okay, maybe she's new. And it just gives me pause. Now, I'm of two minds about this, right? Because she can do whatever she wants and she still looks amazing. She still truly and simply looks amazing. It's like Jennifer Lawrence. They're both sort of getting subtle work at the same time. And then they kind of go away and come back anew. And we all go, who's that? Now, it's got to be hard for her, like in front of the camera, watching yourself constantly. You know, I have experience with that and it is really hard, like fluctuations in weight, in the amount of sodium, how many margaritas did I have? Like it all will show on your face. Like it just does. And yes, we're all beautiful and yes, all those things, but it is a very, very tough industry to constantly be seeing yourself. Like you shouldn't be seeing yourself in that way all of the time. Also, like the way you look on camera versus how you look in life, completely different in many ways. So maybe she's like in that way and feeling she needs that stuff. But damn. And then imagine getting a facelift and you look amazing. I mean, she looks amazing. And then everyone on the internet is like, got you, girl. We know it. We see it. Oh my God. I wonder if she's online and sees it. She must. She must. That's got to be the hardest thing. I mean, she looks amazing. Her style is so good. And like a woman who can pull off a buzzed head to a pixie to long, like there's no style she can't take on. Jealous. I don't have the infrastructure. You know what I mean? And that's important. But God damn it, I love Emma Stone. That's a good dinner girl. That is a good dinner girl, is Emma Stone. You want her at the table. Ooh, Emma Stone, Kylie Jenner, me. Do you think they're upset? They're upset. One last sort of like celebrity thing. This was a big celebrity episode. Rita Wilson. Has everyone seen the clip? Apparently her video on TikTok, she has removed comments, which means people are talking. The town is also talking. Rita Wilson performed at this like country music festival, and God bless her. She was in sort of some hocus pocus, shiny dress and boot with a big hat. Big hat. Okay. And she was singing her new hit single, Wow, Wild Old Woman. Wild Old Woman. OL. And she is dancing. She is spelling out wow with her fingers. And she was like, look at all the beautiful crowd and dancers that showed up. And it cuts to people at a different angle. You can't see them looking at the stage and they're doing sort of a choreographed dance. Now, a couple things about this video that have caught my eye and ear and has put it sort of on a constant loop in my brain is that it's not her singing live. She has put over the track, so we cannot hear the live performance, A. B, the shot of the video shows that maybe those dancers are somewhere else and for someone else. And maybe a social media intern ran and found this crowd and like cut it to her video. Potentially, allegedly, Rita. I don't know for sure. And it is something to truly see. And it really got me thinking that like, when is it enough for us? You know, like and I said this on TikTok and I'll say it again here. maybe the reason I'm drawn to this video and I kind of stewing on it is like, will that be me? Will that be what I become? Where I'm like, oh, maybe now is the time for music. Kate Hudson is doing music. She's an incredible singer. She's singing live and she is starting small. She's doing smaller concerts, things like that. Rita Wilson is a little bit more surprising. Good on ya. Go for it. But there's a lot of stuff happening. I didn't see Tom. And I didn't see Colin, and I didn't see Chet. They weren't at the show. So what's that kitchen conversation? What's that at the dinner table? How are they feeling about mom's music? Is what I'd like to know. Because it's got me thinking, and I'm bringing it up at my dinner table. But, it's just me at the table with my dog, and he's like, who? Why don't you go outside and touch some grass, And that's fair. That's fair feedback. Well, pals, that is the episode for today. It really was a classic mixed bag, and I think I deserve a small award, if I could, for wearing my hair down this entire episode. I want you to know the second this recording is done, it is going up in a bun. It's the only way I'm surviving. I am missing the thickness. I started using a Kerastase Genifique. It's like an anti-breakage, kind of thing. Why don't I just start minoxidil? I don't know. I don't know why I'm putting that off. I have friends who've had great results with it, but I will get you, I'll keep you abreast on my progress with this Kerastase Genifique serum. It was so freaking expensive. I'm upset. $80. What are we doing with that? Seems a little much. I can't wait to talk to you next week. If you've been enjoying the pod, I would love a little review, a little support on the channel would go a long way. And, but if you're busy, you'll get to it. Okay, you've got too much on your plate, but if you have the time, it would really mean the world. And I want to thank everyone who's been liking the post, liking the pod, has been sharing it, has been putting on their Instagram. All that stuff means so much to me, especially, like I said, when you're starting something new again and building consistency and community. It really does mean the world. I can't wait to talk to you next week. I'm preparing to go to a cottage, so we will be talking swimsuits. I have done a big order. I'd like to say it somewhere fancy, but we all know Old Navy, so I will give you feedback on that. But I adore you all, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.